Summer versus winter in Florida, which one's better? Today we're going head to head across 20 different topics to find out which season reigns supreme down here in the Sunshine State. Stay tuned because we're talking about all that and more right now. Hey everyone, welcome back and thanks for tuning in. If this is our first time meeting, my name is Marc Ammons and I'm a real estate agent down here in Southwest Florida. And on this channel, I talk all about what it's like to live, work, eat, sleep, and play right here on the Gulf Coast of Florida. If that sounds like something that you're into, go ahead and click subscribe down below so you don't miss any new videos when they get released. And if you are thinking of either buying or selling real estate down here in Southwest Florida and you want some help navigating our housing market, go ahead and reach out to me whichever way is best for you. Feel free to call, text, or email. You can also scan the QR code here in the corner, and that has links to all the best ways to get in touch with me so we can get started looking for your new home down here in Southwest Florida. With that out of the way, let's get into today's video. All right, everyone. So as a full-time resident down here in Florida, I am fortunate enough to get to experience all the ups and downs and the good and the bad that life in Florida has to offer. And I found that your level of enjoyment in certain things can definitely vary throughout the year as the seasons change. And by seasons, I'm really just talking about the dead of summer, which we'll call June through September, and the dead of winter, which we'll call December through March. And these are the times when things are at their most extreme down here. And I've had a number of people ask me which one is better and which one I prefer personally. And honestly, I've had a hard time answering that question as there are things that I like and also dislike about each of the seasons. So today, I thought we would come to a final answer about which season is best by taking 20 different topics and exploring which things are better in which season and finding out once and for all which season is truly better down here in Florida. The rules of the game are simple. We're gonna go through a list of 20 things, and whichever season I think wins that topic gets a point. At the end of all 20 topics, we'll see which one comes out ahead. And I want to give you guys a chance to give your opinion as well. So I've actually created a poll here on YouTube. You can find that at the top of the video description box below. Just click that link and you can cast your vote for which season you think should be the winner. I'm excited to see how many of you agree and disagree on my take on these topics. So let's get this competition started. All right, so kicking off with topic number 1 on our list today is traffic. Now, depending on where you live in Florida, the traffic in your city may suck no matter what time of year it is. But in my experience, there's still a clear winner for most of the state, and the winner is summer. So summer, which is out of season for us, definitely tends to have fewer cars on the road as opposed to when we're in season over the winter, and all the snowbirds and tourists have come back down south and add a lot of traffic to our roads. So we've got 1 point here for summer and 0 for winter. All right, so topic number 2 on our list is related to the first one, and that is crowds and congestion. And by this, I'm talking more about being out and about at restaurants, parks, shopping centers, and things like that. And as you likely guessed from hearing the winner of our last topic, summer's gonna take the point here as well. You're definitely gonna notice a big drop in crowds and congestion down here in the middle of the summer, as again, a lot of the seasonal residents and tourists aren't down here at that time. So most of the things you wanna do during your day will tend to be more accessible and less crowded in the summer. And this shift usually happens right around Easter, at least where I'm at down here in Southwest Florida. It honestly seems like the population gets cut almost in half from the first week in April to the last week in April. So summer's definitely taking the lead here with a 2-point jump on winter. All right, so topic number 3 is gonna be a big one for most people, and that is weather. Now, I've done an entire video on the weather down here in Florida that I'll link right up here as well as down in the description box below. So if you want to get my full thoughts on what the weather is actually like down here in Florida in both winter and summer, you can go ahead and check out that video. But for our purposes today, we're gonna have to pick a winner. And although this one's actually much closer than some people would think, I'm gonna have to give the edge to winter. Now, honestly, I really like the summer heat, and I actually find it preferable to winter weather for a lot of the activities that we have to do down here. But when you take it as a whole, the wintertime weather down here is pretty incredible. And again, it's one of the huge reasons that so many people choose to come down to the Sunshine State. All right, so related to overall weather is number 4 on our list, which is risk of hurricanes. And if you know anything about summertime weather on the East Coast of the United States, it shouldn't surprise you that winter is gonna take the point here again. When we're in hurricane season, there's always the potential that one can pop up really anytime between June 1st and November 30th, which is the official hurricane season. Now again, I go into more detail on hurricanes and how the likelihood of being affected by a hurricane here in Florida compares to the chances of being affected in a lot of the other East and Gulf Coast states, which may actually surprise you. So again, go ahead and check out that video if you haven't already. But winter is definitely going to be the clear winner here, and that ties things up 2-2. All right, so topic number 5 is really more for people who are thinking about visiting the great state of Florida and not necessarily looking to move, or at least looking to move right away, and that is vacation affordability. And summer is definitely going to take the point on this one. If you're thinking about taking a vacation down here to Florida and you're on more of a limited budget, you're going to want to try to get down here in the summertime, as rates for things, particularly like lodging, are generally significantly cheaper down here when we are out of season. So keep that in mind if you are thinking of booking a trip down here to the area and you want to save a few bucks. All right, so with summer back in the lead, we are up to topic number 6, which is outdoor events. So things like concerts, farmers markets, sporting events, cookouts, etc. And the winter here is going to have to be winter. And the two main reasons for this are temperature and likelihood of rain. Outside of the occasional hot or cold snap here in the winter, our temperatures generally stay in the mid-70s throughout most of the winter, and the chances of midday rain shower are pretty low here in the winter as well. So it's the perfect kind of weather to be able to plan and attend all-day outdoor events and activities, and you know the chances of having beautiful weather on that particular day is going to be pretty high. Okay, so since we're talking about the outdoors, let's talk about topic number 7, which is bugs and insects. And again, winter is going to be our clear winner here, as the bugs and insects that can be a nuisance when you're outdoors are generally less prevalent in the wintertime, although they are still out there, as we don't get any of those heavy frosts, which help to kill these off in a lot of other parts of the country. But wintertime is definitely going to be a little bit more enjoyable when it comes to bugs and insects, so they're going to take the point on this one. All right, so now with winter back on top, we're gonna go into our next topic, topic number 8, which is somewhat related to our last one, and that is getting to see a lot of the wildlife that we have down here in Florida. Now, the winter here is gonna very much depend on how much you either do or don't like seeing a lot of the wildlife that we have down here, and particularly our reptiles like lizards, geckos, iguanas, and snakes. I personally love seeing these animals out and about and getting to watch them in their natural habitat, and that's definitely more prevalent in the summertime. So I've got to give the point to summer on this one. But again, your opinion may vary from mine, and if so, let me know down in the comments below. All right, so we're tied up again, and along the lines of wildlife is topic number 9, which is a very popular hobby for many people down here in Florida, and that is fishing. Now, we have excellent fishing down here in Florida pretty much year-round, and most fishermen down here will fish all year long, but a lot of the fishermen here are going to tell you that they prefer summer, as the fish are generally more active and tend to feed more, and therefore a little bit easier to catch. You can also fish a lot more aggressively in the summertime, and a lot of people find it more comfortable to be out on the water all day when it's a little bit warmer as opposed to being colder. So summer's going to take the point on this one and jump back in the lead. All right, so the next topic on our list is all about our nickname down here in Florida, which, as most people know, is the Sunshine State. And yes, we get a ton of sunshine down here pretty much all year long, but when it comes to usable hours of sunshine, the winter is going to have to be summer on this one, as the days are just so much longer and really allow you to enjoy that beautiful weather late into the evening. And while we do have fewer cloudy days and fewer rainstorms in the winter, the earlier sunsets and shorter days definitely make it harder to do things into the evening. And on our shortest day of the year, which is typically in late December, we have almost 4 fewer hours of sunlight compared to our longest day, which happens in late June. And when you think about 4 extra hours a day over a full week, that's an extra 28 hours of sunlight a week that we get in the summer compared to the winter, which is a lot. So summer's definitely going to take the point on this one. So now that we're halfway through our competition, summer is ahead with a 6-4 lead, and that brings us to topic number 11, which is sunsets. And although we do get beautiful sunsets down here year-round, particularly on the Gulf Coast where I happen to live, I definitely think the sunsets we get in the summertime are often much better than those we get in the wintertime. And a lot of this is due to the additional clouds that we often have in the sky in the summertime, which they do an amazing job of reflecting a lot of the light from the setting sun, produce some really nice, incredible views. So summer's gonna have to take the point on sunsets. All right, so with summer in a commanding 7-4 lead, we are moving on to topic number 12, which is your electric bill. Now, there's a very clear winner here, and it's likely not surprising that winter is gonna take the win on this one. One of the main consumers of electricity in our homes down here in Florida is our air conditioning, as we generally have it running during all 12 months. But during the wintertime, it really doesn't run very often, and significantly less than it does in the summertime. And if you're like a lot of people down here who have a screened-in lanai, you will likely find yourself just leaving your rear doors open throughout most of the day for a good chunk of the winter time, as it's generally the same temperature outside as what you're trying to keep it at inside. And as you're looking for a new home down here, you'll frequently see homes that also have a screened-in front porch or entryway as well, and you may wonder what that's for. Well, basically it allows you to keep both the front and rear doors open throughout the day in the winter, and that gets a good cross breeze throughout the home without really any need to run the air conditioning, while simultaneously keeping out any of the bugs or critters that may be able to wander in without that screen. Now, number 13 on our list is somewhat related to the last one, and that's going to be your water bill, assuming that you are on city water where you happen to live. And the winner here is going to be summer. And there's two main reasons that your water bill is going to go down in the summertime. The first is that if you have a lawn that you want to keep green in the wintertime, you're going to need to water that lawn probably a minimum of twice a week to keep it somewhat green. Now, in the summertime, we get short rain showers at least a few days per week, and that does a much better job of keeping your lawn green without the need to water it at all for the most part. The second reason you may use less water in the summer is if you have a pool. And in the wintertime, if you have a pool, it's likely that you're going to be adding water to that pool every so often to keep the water at the appropriate level for everything to work properly. This is especially true if you have a heater on the pool, which I highly recommend if you do plan on swimming year-round. And a floating pool cover, which is basically like heavy-duty bubble wrap, will do a really good job of helping to keep some of the heat in the pool as well as minimizing evaporation, but it's still something that you're going to have to deal with. In the summertime, with the amount of rain that we get, it's far more likely that your pool is actually going to get more water in it than what it needs. And when this does happen, there is an overflow pipe on most pools that will drain out any water above the desired level it's supposed to be at, so you don't need to worry about it staying too full if we do get a heavy rain, but we're definitely going to have to give the point to summer on this one. All right, so summer is still sitting on top with an 8-5 lead, and that brings us to our next topic, which is related to our last one, and that is landscaping aesthetics, or how pretty the area is in terms of greenery and overall lushness. I'm not sure that's a word, but I think you get what I'm trying to say. And the clear winner here is going to be summer. Because of the subtropical climate that we get to enjoy down here in Florida, combined with the amount of rainfall, heat, and sunshine that we get in the summer down here, keeps everything growing and green all summer long. And as I talk about in my other video about Florida weather, I was really surprised at just how dry the winters are down here. We generally get more rainfall in the month of August alone than we do in December, January, February, and March. So you're going to find that in the winter, a lot of things will tend to turn more brown and they're not going to be as lush and green as they are in the summer. Now, related to our last point is topic number 15, which is landscaping maintenance and duties. And by this, I'm just talking about how much time you're going to have to spend taking care of the landscaping at your home. And it's likely not a surprise that winter is going to take the win on this one as well for the reasons we just spoke about earlier. If you're cutting your own grass, pruning your own bushes and trees, and all the other things that go into keeping up your landscaping, you're likely going to find that you spend a significant amount more time in the summer on those things than you do in the winter. In the summer, expect to cut your grass every single week as it's likely going to need it. Now, in some of the cooler, drier months like February, you may need to only cut the grass once, maybe 2 times throughout the whole month, depending on the particular weather that year. And you're going to find that you won't need to trim bushes or trees as much, and you're also going to get far fewer weeds in your flower beds during this time as well. Now, one thing to note down here, if you do decide to hire out your lawn maintenance like many people do here, is that since your home is still going to require work all year long, you're likely going to have a landscaping company that you pay a flat monthly fee, which where I'm at in Cape Coral generally ranges between $90 and $130 a month for most homes. That fee is going to stay the same all year long, regardless of how many times your grass is getting cut that particular month. So if they're cutting it 4 times a month in the summertime and only once in February, don't expect to get some kind of a discount for the month they only cut it 1 time. It all evens itself out over the course of the year, and just know that going into it so you aren't either surprised or frustrated when that happens. Now, outside of all the required landscaping duties that we all have, I know many people out there enjoy gardening as a hobby, and that's the next one on our list. And the winter here may come as a surprise to you, especially after some of the things we just talked about, but the winter here is actually going to go to winter. And if you're into gardening as a hobby or as a way to save some money and provide extra food for you and your family, you're actually going to find wintertime down here to be some of the better growing periods for a lot of the things that you're looking to grow. So if you're moving down here and you're into gardening, I'd recommend taking a look at the suggested planting times for the things you'd like to grow, as you're likely going to find that there's a substantial difference in when we plant things down here compared to where you're at now. Okay, so on the topic of hobbies and things that people do for fun down here in Florida, swimming and spending time in the pool is definitely high up on the list for a lot of people down here. So which season is better for swimming? Well, I'm definitely gonna have to give this one to summer. Now, I've talked about this before, but my family and I tend to be in the pool all 12 months of the year, and that certainly would not be possible without a pool heater. And even with the heater, there's still a number of days in the wintertime that you just aren't gonna wanna get in the pool because it's gonna feel way too cold when you get out. And even if you keep your pool between 88 and 92 degrees in the wintertime, which a lot of people do, when you get out and it's only 75 degrees, it's gonna feel really chilly. Whereas in the summertime, the pool generally almost always feels good to get into and is one of the big reasons that year-round residents down here don't complain too much about the heat in the summer because we always have great ways to keep ourselves cool and comfortable even on the hottest days. Now, when we're talking about being comfortable, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the topic of just overall comfort and enjoyability. And here I have to give the upper hand to winter for sure. Wintertime down here in Florida, particularly South Florida where I live, is just absolutely amazing, especially when you spent most of your life suffering through real winters with snow and ice and dreary weather and everything else that people hate about winter in most parts of the country. We get to experience weather that's very similar to what most of the country gets for a few weeks combined in both spring and fall for almost a third of the year down here. This is the time of year where almost everyone is either outside or has their windows and doors open for most of the day. It's just a really special time of the year to be down here for that reason. So when it comes to overall comfort and enjoyment, we got to give the point to winter. Okay, so right now we have summer ahead of winter with a 10-8 lead, so we're gonna see if winter can catch up and bring us at least to a tie. And for topic number 19, we have thunderstorms. Now this one is gonna be kind of a curveball, and again, you're welcome to disagree with me on this one and leave me a comment down below if you do, but I'm actually gonna call this one a draw, and I'm gonna give a point to both winter and summer, and here's why. Wintertime gets a point because we basically don't get any thunderstorms throughout most of the winter, and if we do, they're pretty rare. This is nice because it means that your daily activities are not going to be interrupted by a lot of the thunderstorms that we do get in the summertime. Now, summertime also gets a point for thunderstorms, mainly because personally I find them to be pretty cool and actually a lot of fun to watch. And if you haven't experienced the kind of thunderstorms that we get down here in Florida in the summertime, they're quite impressive, especially when we have large storms that are out over the Gulf that don't actually bring any rain onto the land, particularly at night. These storms create what most people would think of as heat lightning, which some people think is just lightning going from cloud to cloud, but it's really just lightning that's so far away that you're really only seeing the reflection in the clouds and you're not actually seeing the lightning strike the ground or even hearing the accompanying thunder. But these storms are quite impressive, and my wife and I have spent many evenings out in lawn chairs in the driveway or out back on the lanai, enjoying a glass of wine while we watch these amazing light shows. So yes, this was kind of a trick topic, but I do think that both sides deserve a point here. All right, guys, so we have come to the end of our list here, and we are now on our final topic in this competition, which is friends. And as you may have guessed from following along, this one is going to go to winter. And the big reason is that we do have a lot of seasonal residents, or snowbirds as they're often called, who spend upwards of 6 months or more down here in Florida during the wintertime, but then they all go back home to their various cities and states over the summer, and you don't get to see them for half the year. And this is especially true for people who've been down here for a long time and have a big group of friends down here. A lot of these people who spend the winters down here in Florida can't wait to come back every single year so they can see all their friends that are left behind throughout the summertime. And whether it's getting together, go to the beach, play tennis or pickleball, or just go out for dinner and drinks, there are so many social activities for people to engage in down here that having all your friends down here in the wintertime, even the ones who don't live here full time, definitely makes winter the clear winner in this category. So that's it for this competition, guys, and as you can see, summer ended up taking the win by just 1 point. And again, I'm curious to hear which of these topics you agree with me on and which ones you think I got wrong. Leave me a comment down below with your thoughts on these topics, and don't forget to check the description box below for the link to the YouTube poll, which will let you cast your vote for who you think the winner should have been. I hope you found this video both entertaining and informative, and I hope it helped to give you a better idea of how things are different down here in Florida in both summertime and wintertime. If you got some value out of this video, it would mean a lot to me if you would hit the like button down below, and please consider subscribing if you haven't already. And now that you know a little bit more about what life is like down here in Florida, and if it sounds like the kind of place that you might enjoy living, and you'd like to explore making the move down here to the area, please reach out to me so we can have a conversation about your needs and your goals and see if this might be the right spot for you. Feel free to call, text, or email. You can also scan the QR code here in the corner, which is going to give you links to all the best ways to get in touch with me. I appreciate you sticking with me until the end, and as always, thanks for tuning in, be well, and I'll see you on the next one.